Okay, so my CVT car that my daughter mostly drives these days, guys, she was reporting there's a vibration coming from the front end, and oddly it seems to be quite prominent at low speed. Yeah, so I appreciate her being observant with this, because I never drive this car, guys. This is a car I got 6 months ago. I actually bought it certified. Whether it should have been certified or not in the state it was in is another question, but I've done very little work to it. I addressed the things that had to be done from a maintenance standpoint, and there was a few glaringly obvious problems that I addressed right away. But it's been going for 6 months straight without issue. So as I said, this is kind of the first thing that came up in the space of 6 months that we've actually owned this car. So let's take it for a drive and see what's what. Wow, I'm hoping the soundtrack can pick that up. It's yeah, it's really obvious. There's an issue there of some sort. Seems to be, and it's gone. Just above 60 it disappears, but at low speed it's there. Can you hear that? Thankfully, neutral doesn't seem to make any difference, so I don't think it's a gearbox issue. I don't think so. It's gonna pull a U-turn here. Don't tell anybody. Okay. Yeah, 50, 60. The tire issue? The wheel or tire issue? Maybe. 70, not too bad, but I can hear something. Maybe a drive shaft? Doesn't sound like a wheel bearing. It actually sounds like it's coming for the back. I've seen this movie before where you convince yourself it's the front left, front right, and you're way off. It's actually from the opposing rear or on-side rear, you know. But yeah, that's definitely wheel speed related. I'm just desperately hoping this is not a gearbox issue, because this is a CVT, something I know next to nothing about, and that sounds expensive. So yeah, get it in the garage here and see what's what. Okay, so after pissing around at all four corners of the car here, guys, looking at the drive shafts, the wheel bearings, in passing, I've got the wheels back on, and I don't feel any looseness in anything. I'll get back to that in a minute. When you don't feel any looseness in anything, does that mean something can't be seized? Okay. So I'm going to give the game away a wee bit here, although I haven't got a definitive. I have a suspicion. So on the rear drive shaft there, central propeller shaft, yeah, she's some crusty. There's no looseness in the U-joint. I've had this before where the U-joint is very sloppy. It causes a vibration, right? But U-joints also need to be able to move. Otherwise that's the whole point of a U-joint, of course, is to accommodate the movement. If that U-joint doesn't move, I think it's going to cause issue here. Keep in mind, when I said the vibration sounds, is it a tire? I said at one point, because it sounds almost like rubber, you know? So I'm just going to have my missus start the car. We're up on all fours here, guys, and this is not recommended by any, you know, by any stretch of the imagination, but when you start running out of ideas, they start, the rest goes up, let's put it that way. Okay, start it up, Lisa. So just go into drive and just release the brake. So what I noticed is the wheel was hopping a bit here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Let's see if we can see it. That's just the brake rubbing a wee bit, guys. As I said, it's been raining, so there's a bit of... Can you see that? The wheel is hopping just a wee bit. So I thought well, maybe it is a tire issue. However, it's doing it on both sides. Look at the differential. I'm sure that we can get a good look on there. Is that picking up the movement at all? It's moving quite a bit. The nose of the differential, the input shaft on the pinion gear there, it is moving big time. You see that? Okay, just step up the speed a little bit, Lisa. And the camera's not really picking it up. The flicker rate on the camera is not picking it up. The nose of that differential is moving big time. Watch the rear diff there. It's incredible how the cameras don't pick it out. It's buzzing like a bastard. It's moving a half inch, easy. Okay, left. Surely you saw that. This is an issue, I think, with the central propeller shaft here. Let's remove it and we'll take a look at the joint. So fortunately, a pile of spares here. So this is the joint I'm talking about on the shaft. It should be able to swivel, of course, the whole point of a U-joint on both planes. This one's okay on that plane, but it is notchy on this one. But this shaft was okay when I removed it from my blue car before I scrapped it. And my blue car was a earlier generation 5-speed. This, of course, is a later generation CVT car. I think the shaft is the same. I'm not positive, but I'm hoping, because these are expensive. At this point, it's only a theory, guys, that this is seized, but I don't see what else it could be, to be honest. Unless there's an issue in the rear diff, which is, of course, a possibility, but I doubt it. I think it's the input from the central propeller shaft here somehow. I've got the yoke removed from the input flange to the rear diff there. This is seized on this plane, absolutely solid. This, there's a tiny bit of movement, maybe, I don't know, what's that, maybe 15 degrees. This, there's nothing. I don't know if you can see. You can actually see some of the needle bearings. I guess it's on that side. You'll see it when I take it out. The needle bearings are absolutely rusted solid on this plane here. This one, there's a wee bit of movement. This one, nothing. So I made the rookie mistake when I first checked this, because I did check it. I just checked it for slop, you know, and it felt tight. Well, it's obviously too tight. There's virtually no movement at all. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm barking up the right tree here, guys. Incredible how on the video, this whole nose of the diff here was dancing, and yet you can barely see it in the video. Although I think you could see on the mount frame there, the aluminum frame that actually carries the diff, you could see that shutter at one point in time. This looks pretty definitive to me, but I could be wrong. Here's the attached hardware, guys. You'll get 4 bolts on the front end where it goes into the, I guess it's the output shaft from the transfer case. Hanger bearing in the middle. There's 2 14mm nuts, and same 4 bolts, 12mm bolts in the back. 12mm, 12mm, and 14mm. These typically have disappeared on you. These are actually from a junk bin, which always comes in handy. This is typically the state you will find them in. They're destroyed, you know. So I've mentioned these before, guys. These fluted spiral sockets. That's just rust in there. They're in good shape. Let me clean this. Okay, let's be a bit more dignified. So yeah, I've spoke about these extractor sockets before with the spiral fluting there, guys. Turbo sockets, I guess sometimes they call them. These things have bailed me out on many occasions. When you're dealing with rusty cars, I don't know why you wouldn't have them, to be quite honest. This is the set I bought. It's just a cheap Amazon set type thing, you know, that I bought. No name, probably branded a dozen different names. It was like 40 bucks or something. I don't know, dirt cheap. Save you a ton of grief. Up to you. I sell nothing. So here's the replacement drive shaft, guys, used. Still got a wee bit of paint on it. I don't know if you can tell how crusty this one is. I'm sure you can. By the amount of rust, this one is rusty, but it's not as rusty. So as I said, this is I don't know how many kilometers this would have had on it. Maybe 125 ish. But the U-joint on the front side here on the transfer case side is good. Both planes. A wee bit notchy, but not too bad. The bearing, or sorry, the joint there is good, and the hanger bearing is good, and at the back there is serviceable. So yeah, it appears to be identical. Again, I'll confirm that, and I'll tell you otherwise in the comments, guys, if the part numbers are different, but they appear to be identical parts. Okay, in the interest of completeness, the two torque specs for the 8 bolts. This is forward, so this is the transfer output and the differential input and the hanger bearing. So 2 different torque specs. So for the bolts, it is 17 foot-pounds, as you can see there, and for the 2 nuts, 37 foot-pounds. Don't be kidded by some segments of the video here, guys. When I'm actually under it, there's plenty of jack stands. Okay. The new used drive shaft, hopefully serviceable drive shaft, is in the car. Let's take it for a spin. Sun's just starting to set. Just shy of 8 o'clock in the evening. What day 8 or something. That's what it's supposed to feel. I mean, U-joints on propeller shafts don't just seize overnight, right? That must have been binding for quite some time. My daughter had said, the car's starting to, she says, I think I can hear something. She says, I don't know if it's a wheel bearing. She says, but I can hear something. That was, she told me about this issue yesterday. So that was the day before yesterday. And then sure enough, the following day it was like, yeah, there's something wrong with the car. There's a vibration. And I think I said in the intro there, guys, she said it was in the front end. I said it was in the front end. She didn't say that at all. She just said there was a vibration. So yeah, you know, there's always something to be learned, you know, even when you've done that job before. You go looking for slop in something. Well, looking for slop and play in a bearing is one thing, but make sure that same said bearing is not seized, which clearly it was. This is fixed. I can tell already. You know, the car's driving. It felt like it was, in hindsight, you know, when the car is bound up in an all-wheel drive or a 4-wheel drive vehicle. That's exactly what it felt like. And like I said, it didn't translate too well on the camera. But I think you can see it, where you can see the nose of the differential. That's not the pinion shaft, of course, guys. I think I called it the pinion shaft. It is the input shaft, but it's got to go through a clutch pack before it eventually goes to the pinion, to the crown gear, right? I think you know what I meant. But yeah, this is this is transformed. You know, as I said, we've had this car for 6 months, and I said I never drive it. That was a bit of an exaggeration. I do drive it on occasion, you know, on a rare occasion only. But I actually quite like the CVT. Reluctantly, I have to admit that I think it's actually quite good. And I know people hate CVT transmissions. Now, I think the difference is, you know, you put the CVT transmission in a Nissan Rogue that probably has a gross weight of 4,000 pounds, maybe a wee bit less. It's going to be taxed. CVT transmission in an SX4 that I don't think this weighs 3,000 pounds, it's a completely different thing, you know. And I actually quite like it. Sometimes we'll take a trip in towards, you know, towards Toronto type thing where the traffic can be hellacious. It's a great option to have in that regard, you know, when you're going to get stuck in traffic. But yeah, this is fixed. You might hear a wee bit of clicking and clacking going on the soundtrack, guys. It's on a dollar store camera mount, the camera at the moment. So yeah, I'm happy to report this is fixed. Thank goodness, because you know the deal. Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, nothing's open. Nothing's gonna be open for a day and a half. You know, locally, if you can get the part, which I'm sure as hell no getting this drive shaft locally. That would be, I'd have to order that from Suzuki even, and then the car would be out of service for God knows how much time. And I just happened to, as I said, I scabbed a bunch of high value parts from my blue car before I scrapped it. What was that? However long ago that was, in the late summer, I guess it was, mid-fall, mid-fall. But yeah, it sure as hell has come in handy. That blue car has donated. It was an organ donor for quite a few bits and pieces of the cars, actually. So yeah, well worthwhile hanging on to a few different bits and pieces. Anyway, I guess I've drawn down long enough. I find myself back at the house here, guys. So yeah, this one worked out good. When you go looking for slop and bearings and drive shaft, don't forget to consider if it's seized, that may be an issue as well. That's it, boys. Cheers.